Hello, everyone. What's going on? My name is Timpedia, and welcome back to the TNT podcast, the only content to come out on this channel for months and years now.
We're no longer a Star Wars Let's Play. It's just a...
It
Thought
is
I'd come with a
simply
punchline
a
before coming to that.
podcast until an
Yeah.
unknown date, sometime farther in the future than I ever would have hoped it possible.
In a galaxy far, far away.
Maybe in the year 2021, I'll start putting out real content again.
I mean, I'm down for more Final Fantasy 13 if everybody else is.
Technically, that
I
was published as a
mean-
podcast episode, so it still doesn't violate the only podcast thing.
I was really hoping you were going to put a fake thumbnail and really bait the listeners and be like, joke's on you, you're listening to my podcast now.
Episode 128. I totally knew that.
You did. You totally didn't look it
Yeah,
up.
it was
You
just
just
solid.
now.
You
did good.
Yeah, I
You
did.
did good, kid.
You done good. As always, though, I am not alone on this podcast. On my right
It's Friedman, also known as Andrew, but mostly known as Friedman.
and on the left.
Just Tyler.
And hey, he's here across.
Professor AIDS.
PhD.
We have once again only a couple topics that will inevitably
buddy.
spiral into a lot more time than it seems like it should. But hey, that's what this podcast is all about, and that's what you guys listen for. First up, it's not actually Magic news, but it is card game related news.
I think you got to it, but it's actually interesting for everyone involved here. So, as I'm pretty sure everyone's aware, we're in the middle of a huge collectibles boom. And this is causing, I think, some of it's baseball cards, but let's be real. 99% of this is Pokemon cards. There's a huge run on Pokemon cards right now, to the point where people are just fighting each other and scalping cards at Target. So much so that multiple retailers like Target, Walmart, and at least one other screw this, we are not selling card game shit anymore. People are pulling one guy pulled a gun on someone else for taking the last pack of some Pokemon sets. So once
I
that
don't know,
happened,
man.
everyone's
Sounds like the 90s all over again, if you ask
that's
me.
because it is. It's Beanie Babies, except it's randomized
Yeah.
lottery ticket cards.
You guys never heard of that before? People pulling guns and shit on people for
Yeah, but
Pokemon
not
cards?
this year for Pokemon cards. Back during the boom, yeah, people used to do that shit all the time.
I
Like,
don't
there
know. I
hasn't-
mean, kids are wearing Thrasher T-shirts again. It's pretty. We're old now. Makes sense.
Hold on, I need to find the price of this. So, all right, so Tim, the other day I showed you this Rainbow Charizard card.
Yes.
That thing's an $800 card, and it's essentially in a standard legal pack.
Hell yeah, brother.
Yeah, that's where we're at right now in terms
I
of
mean,
collectible
Freeman, we've
shit.
been talking about how I spent a lot of money on a lot of Magic cards recently, and all of them are going, how much have the Mystic Archives gone up in price just since they came out, what, a month ago?
A bit. A lot of them are still sitting at a couple pennies now.
Yeah, but
Yo,
some
I'm
of them are
checking
going
to
up.
see if my base Charizard went up in price.
When's the last time you checked?
Tyler,
When I got it graded,
How long ago was that?
December.
you haven't sold it
Go,
yet, right?
Go check your price.
I
Go
have
check your
not
price right now. I
sold it.
want to know.
Yeah, hold on. We're all taking an eBay adventure. What was the raid? 6, right?
4. No, it was 4.
4. Ugh.
Anyway, to close out the story, go support your local game stores and buy them there. Also, don't pull your guns on people. It's Pokemon cards. There, that news story's
For
over.
real.
Let's find these prices.
I don't think it went up that much. I still only see it for $450.
Yeah, if you put RGB on it though. it'd be worth
Shit,
hella
that goes up
dollars.
at least 200 more.
Just take a good picture of it.
Does anyone below 7 have theirs listed?
I don't think so, actually. I'm trying to look for, because PSA,
Our PSA 7
Um,
is 500, but
yeah, PSA, the site, I know, has an RSS feed. of
someone has it
people
listed for
who sell shit.
250 for a base for a PSA
shit.
4.
Someone
Has
has
it
a
gone
PSA
down?
5 that is only at 134, but it has 15 bids on it. And
Damn.
it has 2 days left and it has 15 bids on it. So this is definitely going to go up. Anyway, so Pokemon
Damn.
TCG games are really hot right now. And Freeman, did you get to who actually has stopped selling them?
Just at Walmart and Target. I'm not sure if anyone else announced they were
That
stopping.
was it. I didn't hear it. I was pulling this up.
Gotcha.
Importantly enough, they have not stopped Magic cards, but Magic has
like,
too many.
what happened, man? Why?
Freeman,
How did we get here?
Freeman, didn't you say that a bunch of like YouTubers started like
Yes.
tech YouTubers?
Yeah.
So back when I used to follow some YouTube drama, there was this guy, it's Paywubby. What the fuck is his name? Hold
Oh,
on.
Pay Money Wubby or whatever.
There you go. And he did this whole expose on what happened with Logan Paul buying like a sealed box of base set Pokemon from this one dude who's just like known for scamming people with Pokemon cards. And this whole thing blew up to the point where everyone's like, well, what if I got a legit box of cards? Everyone started buying up old sets and opening them on stream. And it got really popular for absolutely no reason. It's basically just like the Among Us effect, but not with a video game. Where just something with streamers just blew up and everyone's like, I need in on this. And it became buying Pokemon cards.
It's
and
Elon Musk tweeting about Doge. Okay.
And then
That makes
what we're doing right now, basically, God, this year is so weird. But basically, it's like the same thing with Magic having like expeditions. Pokemon's just always had these lottery cards for a while, and just since everyone's into it, like essentially their mythics are just way more valuable than they would be just on a playability scale. Like there's a reason the fucking Rainbow Charizard is a $500 essentially standard card.
Mm-hmm.
It's wild. I'm staying away from this. I still don't know how to play the Pokemon card game, and at this point, I'm too afraid to ask.
Okay, no, all right. I found the RSS feed. It has gone down in price. Mine.
Rip.
Yeah, I should have sold it when I got it
How much?
by 200 by half.
What?
Yeah. Average price is
God
going now for
damn.
244.
That sucks.
Here's the trick,
Yeah.
Well, you know,
Tyler.
because a
Just
ton
hold
more
it.
just went into
Because
circulation.
every single sealed base set box is now open.
Yeah, you know what? Yeah, you're.
Yeah, but that
yeah,
doesn't
makes
usually
sense.
apply to old original printing cards that are never going to get printed again.
I was like,
Probably.
how many did get thrown into circulation though?
Yeah, just hold. You gotta hodl, man. You gotta hodl the
Like
card.
the Doge,
Yeah.
the Doge coin.
Hold it
just
like
gotta
the Doge. Hold it like the Bitcoin. We're going to the moon.
Model it.
Yeah, I'm salty because my fucking friend, he sold his the one I got sent in at the same time. I don't know if I
Mhm.
told you guys. He sold
Yeah.
his Blaine's for 600.
Holy
you told
crap.
us.
God,
That could have been you too. You
It
could have
could have
done that.
been. It could have, but I was like, you know
buying
what?
these Blaine cards. Or you're talking
See
about
how-
Blaine's Pokemon cards. You're not talking
Yeah,
about like
Blaine's
Blaine the
Pokemon.
Gotcha.
Yeah, no, like a Blaine's Charizard.
I thought you were talking like the item card or what the fuck they're called.
You know, I'll do because I was like, yo, like this is gonna keep taking off because I saw more YouTubers like doing that shit, and then yeah, but I was like, oh, whatever. Maybe I'll just hold on to it some more.
Yeah, why not?
I don't know, guys, listeners in the comments, should I hold on to this card?
What should Tyler do?
Yeah, I'd like to know your feedback.
I
But
mean,
that's some interesting stuff though. Well, what would you do, Aiden? What is your?
yo, hold that shit. I mean, you should have
Hold it.
sold it, but now you hold.
Yeah, now I hold. I mean, technically, I make like enough money because I technically I spent $70 overall because when I bought the card it was $20. Bought it for $20.
See, that's how you have to remember that it's always good. Like anything you
I
get
mean-
now is good.
It is
Sure.
pure profit.
Yeah, like unless
That's
there's
not the point.
unless there's natural like cost to hold on to it, which for this there really isn't.
Yeah, that's very true. Very true. Very true. Yeah, that's wild. Fucking
I-
YouTubers, man, disrupting the economy.
Fucking influencers and shit, man.
Yeah, Elon Musk.
This is ridiculous.
Fucking Elon Musk.
Yo, for real. Like, Doge good, Doge go up. Bitcoin bad, Bitcoin's down to $43,000 right now.
Time
like,
to buy in, baby.
what the fuck is this?
It's a bubble. There's no other
it's
word
a
for what's
massive
going
bubble.
on.
It is
Like-
a massive bubble.
Like when tweets cause a currency lose 30% of its value in a day, like you're in a bubble.
God.
Yo, how long until it bursts though? Maybe we'll get to 1 million before it before
Any
we
second.
break.
My
man.
one hope is that
Man.
the coins are disconnected enough that if one completely gets decimated off the face of the planet, the others will still have meme potential and will rise anyway. And then everyone will buy in because they're like, "Fucking, I'm already in crypto." And then we'll just have this moving wave of different coins like rising and crashing out of sync with each other, and then the meme will never die.
You mean like real money?
Yes, just like the stock market.
All right, perfect.
All
We
right.
in there.
Let's move on. Let's talk about a game that came out that at least that I think half the podcast played.
Half the I think I've
They played it very quickly, in fact.
okay.
Yeah,
So
well, we're still playing it. We're playing
technically
Resident Evil 8.
speaking, the whole podcast has played the game, just split among half of the members.
What? Oh.
I've beaten the game 3 times.
Oh my
Yeah,
That's what I was
it's
god.
trying to
true.
say.
I have played and beaten Resident Evil 8 3 times since launch now.
Which playthrough
is-
is your favorite one so far?
Not fucking Village of Shadows. Not that one. Probably the first one. The first one, you can't beat the first run of anything, because it's like you get the ooh,
That rush.
this
Discovery.
is all new and shiny. It's a very good game. Admittedly, they literally just stole the fucking playbook from Resident Evil 4.
Yo, dog, we heard you
But,
like
like,
Resident
that's
Evil
not a
4,
bad
so,
thing.
like,
Yeah, that's true.
That's not a bad thing.
no, I loved it. I loved almost every second of it.
Wow.
Almost. There's like, I told you what part I don't like. Heisenberg.
I need a refresher. Unless it's a
Heisenberg.
spoiler. Oh, okay.
Literally, it's
Yeah.
not a spoiler really. Like, I mean, for context, right? I'm not gonna say the whole story. It's just like, you play as Ethan. Big shock. You go and you have to, you have to go fight everybody in that trailer, including Big Titty Vampire Waifu, right? And one of the dude's area with the hat and the hammer, his name's Heisenberg. You
Yeah.
have to fight him, and he's got these like weird like robot like abominations that basically call back to another enemy in Resident Evil 4, and I won't say that. Like, I'd rather you just get freaked out by like, on your own time. But it redeems itself at the end with something really cool, and I enjoyed that. But fighting this specific enemy in the situations that I had to, didn't like it. But like even then, it was still executed pretty well, in my opinion.
So my opinion on this section of the game, and I think Tyler agreed with me when I brought it up, was it is not dissimilar to Chapter 13 of Final Fantasy 15.
Oh,
really?
Yeah.
Yeah.
Wait, and at
Yeah.
what point in the game did this take place? Was it middle or the end? This part you're talking about.
It's towards the end.
Gotcha.
Yeah.
So like it's like that's
It's
why
the
I
same
thought
structure, too,
about
where
that.
it's like the last, or not
Yeah.
the last, but like close to the last chapter, just completely different from the rest.
It's not that, it's not as egregious in this,
No.
because like it's just like this one section that
I
can be
will
pretty rough.
Yeah. I will say this, there is one section of the game that is literally not like the rest, but it's still really good anyway. What's her face? Who controls the puppet, Aiden?
Beneviento.
Yeah, Beneviento House was like, man, that was good. Like, and it's hilarious. So like, all right, I am going to spoil this part. Not plot related.
Here we go.
Well,
Hell yeah.
but like, yeah, just real quick. So I like literally my famous last words, because Aiden was watching me play this game from beginning to end. So technically, he saw the game 4 times through. more or
I have
less.
seen the game 4 times through, yeah. That's true.
So yeah, if you wanna get technical with it, but I remember saying, I have nothing to fear. I have guns. They take away your guns immediately for that section.
My immediate response was Godspeed, Tyler.
God, I'm like, well, yeah, because they're like, oh, like Tyler, are you scared? I'm like, I ain't scared. I got guns. Like, wait a minute, I ain't got guns anymore.
Damn.
And let me tell you what, The thing at the end of this part, nope. I didn't like it.
You didn't like it gameplay wise, you didn't like it thematically. Both.
Remember the Abomination?
Yes.
Yes, you
Oh
remember
no.
the Abomination. I didn't like this. Remember, I came up with the Abomination. You guys didn't like that thing. I didn't like this. That's the level.
It's pretty
If that
bad.
puts anything into perspective, and listeners, for the ones listening at home, the Abomination is this boss that I had Freeman and Tim here fight, and it was super spoopy and creepy, and no one liked it.
It was terrifying.
Didn't like.
Yeah, that's all I want to say. Hey, if you like Resident Evil, this has the Just Tyler stamp of approval, and I think that
Just
carries a
approval.
lot of weight because I've played every other Final Fantasy game. Oh my God, Resident Evil, and this is good. This has the spirit of Resident Evil that I had been looking for from 7.
Yeah, it is just an improved 7 that brings it more in line with like Resident Evil 2 and 4.
100%.
And that's I will say that I hold this in the same regard as Resident Evil 2 and Resident Evil 4 for sure. It was a good game. It's got the survival, it's got the horror, it's got the fucking batshit insane Resident Evil shenanigans.
I'm glad to hear this. I know you guys have been kind of down on Resident Evil. I'm trying to remember. You guys didn't like the 3 remake?
I was gonna say they both
3
liked.
remake was weak.
I feel like I remember you guys said 7 was good. The 2 remake was really good, and then 3 remake was not as good as the 2 remake, but not terrible or anything.
Yes.
Yeah, 2 I thought was very good. 7 was a step in the right direction, for sure, but it was a very... It like Tyler was saying, like we were looking for something more Resident Evil in that one, but we didn't get it, and this is the one where you get the Resident Evil.
Gotcha.
What did we call it the whole time? It was like domestic evil.
Oh,
Domestic
yeah.
something. And we're like, yeah, enter the domestic fucking evil or whatever. The domestic bad.
It was just like, yeah, because it was just
bad,
it wasn't quite there, but now we're there. We made it.
We made it.
We in there,
Only-
and
only
I'm
took
hyped for
'em-
Resident Evil 9. Let's go.
Yo, I mean, like, me too, though. But before that, Resident Evil 4 remake.
Now, that being said, there are some questionable design decisions about
Lady Dimitrescu.
not Lady Dimitrescu. I mean, apparently the internet would disagree with that.
The
but,
internet highly disagrees with that.
I have a problem with how Ethan is handled as a character at the end of this game. and mainly, I mean, like, it's just super bizarre, and you know what I'm talking about, Tyler.
Yeah.
And I don't like. I just can't fathom the design decision behind doing what they did.
I don't know. Listeners, if you're curious about what we're talking about, play the game. If you have played it, hit us up in the comments.
While you're here, don't forget to like and subscribe.
Yeah, ding the
Ding
like
the bell.
button. Yeah, ding the bell. You know, the clickety clack the like button. Whatever.
So smash that like button.
Buy a Ridge
Anyway.
wallet.
Yeah. Moving on. Resident Evil, very good. Now to something that is also potentially also good, but maybe not. Mass Effect.
Mass Effect.
None
It
of us
is
Legendary
truly
Tim.
mission.
legendary.
Sorry, would you
Unless
say that?
wait, I'll say no one touched this. Unless Tim, you said you're not buying this yet, right?
I haven't bought it yet, mostly because I just don't have time to play it yet. But I definitely, absolutely plan on buying this and playing this.
Definitely gonna buy this during the first Steam sale that it's on sale for.
Probably.
Dang.
The reviews seem to be coming in that this is overall really good. I have seen some comments and reviews on Steam that said that there's mouse acceleration issues that really fuck this up if you play with mouse and keyboard. I don't think I could ever play Mass Effect with anything but a controller on PC. But from what I've seen, Mass Effect 1 especially looks so much better than it used to. Holy shit. It's like actually a finished game now. It's crazy. Like, could you imagine playing Mass Effect 1 without the textures popping in every 30 seconds? Wow, that's crazy, right?
Dude, I mean, it's.
What
I
year was
mean,
Mass Effect 1?
Oh, God.
Oh,
Was it
Lord,
like...
was it 2007? Okay.
I was going to say, it was
old game.
before I even graduated high school. But yeah, I mean, there's not much to say about it. It's out now. I wasn't sure if maybe Aiden had played it or something, or at least started it, because obviously it's hard to finish Mass Effect that quickly.
Yeah, nah. All of my time was taken up.
That's fair.
Replaying fucking Resident Evil.
That's fair. You also aren't employed anymore, are unemployed anymore, so you don't have the infinite free time. You used
True,
to.
I no longer have infinite free time.
But yeah, I'm excited to finally get around to playing this. I think I'm gonna try to hold out to play this for an LP in the near future.
You heard it here. Heard it
Yeah,
here first, folks.
I know.
LP incoming.
Look, I have a lot of LPs I want to do eventually, okay? Just because I haven't uploaded since Halo finished in December doesn't mean I don't want to do LPs. It's because other stuff stops
Throw it
me.
up on the stack.
Yeah,
How good would it
exactly.
be if your only LP of 2022 was just Final Fantasy 13 Part 1?
I really hope not, because that would signal a lot of things not going right by the end of this year.
Well, that's your motivation.
Well, there you go. But yeah, I'm just really pumped to play Mass Effect again, and especially play Mass Effect 1 in a state that's a lot closer to the rest of the series. That just seems awesome to me. Yeah, there's not much else to it than that. I just want to play a nice, cohesive Mass Effect experience, because I mean, this is, even at $60, unlike a lot of other remasters that are like, I don't know if I'm getting my value. I mean, if you think about getting all of Mass Effects 1, 2, and 3 and DLC and the remaster of 1 wrapped up in one package, I would pay $60 for that. I just literally am not, only because I know I won't play it right now, and I might as well try to wait until I would play it to save money. But if I was going to play it right now, I would buy it.
I felt this once with Kingdom Hearts. I found that like owning collections are super nice, but like until I'm actually going to sit down and play it, if it's not a limited edition thing, I'll just wait until like I actually want to play it.
The
and then I'll
only
just buy
thing
it.
recently that I pre-ordered, knowing I wouldn't play it right away, was Cyberpunk, and look where that got me.
Damn.
Still haven't played
Cyberpunk all the way through.
I know, we saw
Look, man,
you.
all I'm going to say is Witcher 3 has now crashed like 3 times in 4 days on PS4 for me, just randomly.
Not for nothing, that's literally PS4.
Hey,
That's
man.
any PC version.
I've not played any other game that's crashed more than once ever, and this is like a regular occurrence with Witcher 3.
I mean,
Yeah,
Witcher
really?
3 is also like 10 times the game as a lot of other games too.
Aware of it.
Wait,
This game is dead.
how have you gotten through life with games that haven't crashed on you? So
I'm
many
lucky. I
times?
just play games where they just don't crash, just ever.
Yeah.
I
How many
just played
times Left 4
JRPGs that
Dead?
don't stress anything.
Look, man, Persona 5 runs an engine that has 2 sequences. You're in combat or you're in a dialogue, and it's really hard to fuck up either of those.
Yeah,
I'm
that's
jealous.
true.
Like, what would you do? Games couldn't crash on... Okay, games crashed on PS2 all the time. But, like, it's shittier when they crash on PS2. Forget it.
You're not selling us here.
Point is, I'm trying to say this speaks volumes about the quality control going on there.
I mean, if I wish they would just stick to PC development. Fuck everybody else. Fuck them. They should get all the same treatment that we get on the PC. We have to wait a fucking year after everything else comes out for a PC port.
Nothing has ray trace until Sony has it.
I was gonna say we do have to wait, but things are starting to come to PC from consoles more than PC things are going to consoles in a good state. Like, usually it is a console or PC and a console these days instead of just a console or everything. Like, I mean, hell, Horizon came to PC. I think the next Horizon's coming to PC.
Yes.
Like, it's kind of nice to have this thing where both companies are giving exclusives to PC and their console just to keep it away from their opponent. So we're kind of getting more finally.
I mean, I'm okay with it.
Not that I finished
Still
Horizon.
more of a Microsoft
I
thing.
kind of abandoned Horizon a while ago.
Wow.
It's just so much.
You know,
I don't know.
Tim just doesn't like things.
I'm gonna be honest. I've barely played video games for a little while now. Like, totally honest. I've mostly just been watching stuff. There's too many shows and things to
Yeah,
watch.
the
Yeah, I
season
know.
stacked for absolutely no reason.
Keep watching
I don't
too
even-
many anime.
But like, I don't even just mean anime. Like, just like, oh, I'll just throw on a YouTube video when I'm kind of bored, or I don't have that much free time, so I don't. I don't play
Yeah,
that
I mean
much.
that is how it be.
Like,
We're getting old.
like over this
Ain't
weekend.
got no time
I
no
couldn't-
more.
I couldn't have played Resident Evil 1 time, much less play it 3 times. So
I mean,
like,
listen, we could just. I mean, there's a simple fix to this.
yeah, what?
So
We can just stop hanging out.
That's true. We do hang out with our friends.
You're not wrong.
yeah, fuck friendship. More video games.
Speaking of more video
Yeah.
games,
Wait,
who
we
wants
can
more
stop
of the
hanging
same
out
video
Sunday
games?
and Monday and
Yeah.
No,
Thursday.
Tyler, you can cancel all this later. We got more news to talk about.
Yeah,
So
you can disappoint Val later. There's more news.
there was an announcement that Saints Row 3 is coming to fucking PS5 and Xbox Series X.
Man,
And
that was
more
a
and
garbage
more,
game.
I cannot help but feel like this generation is just the generation of remakes.
Yeah.
Like, I can't think of a new game coming out in the near future that I want to play that isn't a remake of another game we've already gotten. And this has had me feeling kind of weird lately.
Didn't we talk about
Oh.
this at the top of the year, like in their year beginning episode about what was coming out this year?
Yeah, there wasn't a lot on the agenda, but the big thing I want to bring up is like people were shitting on Switch for just being a port machine. It turns out that's just an industry trend, and Switch was just the most recent console.
Yeah.
I mean, not for nothing. It's proven a moneymaker. Like, people want to play better versions of their nostalgic old games. We're the generation that can now pay all this money for video games. Like,
Here's the thing:
look
I
at
don't
Mass
know if I'd
Effect.
even argue they're better. It's just they want to play the game they like on their console of choice. Like Minecraft is not a new game, and that's on literally every platform possible.
Minecraft is kind of its own thing, though.
I understand it, but like GTA 5.
I mean,
like,
some
is it-
people have put like as much time into the multiplayer of that game as like WoW people.
No, I understand. I'm saying like when it released, because I know at first I think it came out like PS3 era, but then when it came out for PS4, like was it vastly improved or was it basically just the same game?
Oh
on
no,
another
it's like the
console?
same game, I think.
And it's gonna
Yeah.
be this. It's the same again. It's the same game. People just want to play it on their platform of choice. They don't like expect something new out of it.
I think
I don't
people
know.
just don't want to hold on to old consoles anymore, which I totally
Kind
get.
of.
Yeah, I mean, like, the expectation has always kind of been there for backwards compatibility, but
And
now
now that that's
we're
not a
in
thing, we just do remakes.
Yeah, and I mean, well, this was the industry finding a way to monetize backwards compatibility. That's what it was.
Not for nothing. Also, even from their end, they get to save money on making everything backwards compatible. Like, remember, wasn't the PS3 like the original ones that had backwards compatibility? Was like they had an entire
They
PS2
literally had a
in there.
PS2 built into it. Yeah, 'cause
Yeah,
they couldn't
how
do
much-
software
well,
emulation for it.
And that's how the PS2 was, though. There was a PS1 built into the PS2.
Yeah, that's the way they
Was
did
it
it.
really? Wow.
I mean, obviously, as the architectures got more expensive and like all the, more taxing, I suppose, it's a lot harder to just shove an extra console in there.
Mm-hmm.
So, yeah, that's and this is where we've ended up. And then, like, honestly, I'm just like not that excited for a lot of games anymore because, like, yeah, it's nice to go play like nostalgic stuff, but like that's not going to keep me engaged. Like, I've already been there and done that,
Mhm.
and like it's cool to go back to it and like play it again every once in a while, maybe. But like,
I mean, yeah, I want to
want
play
new
Mass
stuff.
Effect again, mostly because it's a remaster and retweaking of mostly 1. That's a big part of why I want to play it, but I suspect if I do the LP, I'm going to burn out in the middle of a bunch of Mass Effect 2 DLC just like I did on my LP originally.
yeah,
Probably. I did the same thing when I was protesting Pokemon Sword and Shield and was playing like the older Pokemon games to get that Pokemon feel one more time. And I don't think I finished either of those playthroughs. It's just kind of like once the nostalgia wears off, it's just like
Mhm.
I
It's
already
like,
played
oh,
this.
I
I
don't
got
want to do
something
the
else to
grind
do.
again.
Yeah.
yeah. So that's like I want to go watch some fucking anime.
Yeah, like it's so easy to just go watch 20 minutes of anime instead of playing 20 minutes of grinding that you've done before.
True. And like 20 minutes, honestly, is like almost no progress in most games.
Yeah, seriously. I mean, how many? Okay, so Aiden, between all your playthroughs of Resident Evil, how long was your first one?
My first run was 10 hours. My second and third were sub 4.
Really?
Yeah.
Holy
Yeah, that's
I guess
not.
once you know where to
damn.
go, there's not a lot
I'll,
of
I'll say for
sidetracking.
Resident Evil, that's not bad. Like
No, I
clear
get it,
Resident
but
Evil
like,
4 in
wow.
like 2 hours, bro. Like it's not even that
No,
big a
but
deal.
I
Yeah.
mean, like,
Well, you're a fucking psychopath.
What's your speedrun record?
My speedrun record? Oh shit.
Do you think you're ready to do a speedrun?
Fuck no.
Tyler, when are you gonna set up your Twitch channel?
Never.
Yeah, I mean, like,
When are you opening Pokemon cards on chat?
Yo.
I will say that is kind of par for the course for Resident Evil. Like, the first time I played through Resident Evil 2 probably took me about, like, 6 to 8 hours. But then, like, after that, once you know where everything is and, like, the order, like, the sequence of events and stuff and where things are and
Oh,
what
sure.
happens, yada, yada. Like, I beat that game, like, under 2 hours and 30 minutes.
Wow.
And I mean, like, Capcom also does do that thing where they're like, hey, you want infinite ammo for your weapons? Gotta beat
Yeah.
the game real fast. And like,
And then you play it
at
again
that,
and you have fun for 10 minutes and you're like, I'm bored with this now.
I did my entire second. I did my entire third playthrough with infinite grenade launcher,
Oh my god.
and I had a great time. It was fantastic. It was very difficult.
Really?
Also, well, that was the one that I was doing on Village of Shadows difficulty, and the way I would describe that difficulty is toxic. So, yeah, it was pretty tough. It was rough even with infinite grenade launcher. It was just a hard time. But yeah, enough about that.
You know what's not having a
got-
hard time? The Weeb shit. I'm gonna steal it from Freeman
You caught me
because
off guard
I'm
there.
gonna steal it from Freeman because Freeman was proven wrong. Freeman can't keep us Overlord fans down. Freeman was shown that nothing can overcome.
Why
the
am I
hope.
getting dunked on for no reason? Like up until Katakawa's big announcement that they want to just make 40 anime a year, like this shit was unheard of. Don't look at their track record. This shit was never gonna happen.
Freeman
So
said-
Tim, and I
Freeman
enjoy
said-
your miracle. Explain to the
Freeman-
listeners your miracle.
Freeman told us that it was never gonna happen, and only Freeman said it wasn't gonna.
Yeah, right.
Overlord season 4 and a movie are coming. I am so excited. Oh,
I
it's
can't
so
believe it.
wonderful.
I actually can't believe it.
I know, right? It means that there's hope for every other Katakawa franchise that ever deserved another sequel.
But more importantly, Overlord's coming back, and this show, for all of its terrible CGI, has been so much fun.
Get ready for more of that. Katakawa saw it and they're like, yes, that didn't cost a lot of money, but we got to put that on TV. Do that again.
We got to put that on TV.
Unpopular opinion, but I like the way that Overlord looks.
Including the CGI.
We're just
Question
on the
mark?
CG. Like the normal part of the show looks a-okay.
Yeah, it looks great.
The
It's just the
CGI
CG
has
they use in the last two
Aiden,
seasons.
do you remember what happened when the village got attacked?
To it.
No, it's like saying Berserk has some charm to it. The newest Berserk, like, come on.
Okay, so it had a certain level of charm, but only if you acknowledge like how shitty this charm was.
Yeah, it was shitty charm, but it was charming.
Either way, a movie, and they didn't say 2022, right? They just said it's coming.
which is probably 2022. Like, unless they're gonna surprise us with October, but like we're already getting announcements of shit in October, and
Why
I
did
haven't seen anything.
Wow, my brain said. Never mind. I forgot it was 2021 right now for a second. Jeez.
Got
Right,
21.
it's still 2019.
Yeah, so 2022 is when we're going to get this, but man, so excited. Speaking of 2022, another thing that's so excited.
Even more to be excited
Abyss
for.
Season 2. This is more
So-
universally loved.
Yeah, so we had gotten a soft confirmation after the movie came out in Japan like 2 years ago now. And we kind of
God,
implied it
stop.
came out in the US. And then we got a reconfirmation today that season 2 is still scheduled for 2022. They also came out with the poster for this series, so now it's a real thing and not just words people say on the internet. And in addition, it has its title, Made in Abyss: The Sun Blazes Upon the Golden City.
That's not bad.
This title, I like this. Are there cities in the abyss? What's going on down there?
Also, how is the sun down here? We haven't seen the sun in literal years.
Oh no.
Unless, no.
We passed
leave all
under a
speculation
wall,
aside.
so like the sun is not making it.
Okay, but like, what if there was
So-
what about the Hollow Earth theory? Like, if they keep going down, eventually there'll be this place with illumination, like Kong
Yeah,
saw, right?
is this just Journey to the Center of the Earth anime?
Perhaps.
Have you still not watched this?
What?
Made in Abyss.
Made in Abyss? I've watched.
Okay,
I
for-
watched season
well,
1.
for a
yeah.
second, you threw me off. I was like, wait a minute, I thought you had watched it. That's why I was like,
Yeah, no, I watched it, but
Okay.
you know the sun and shit. No, we're in like fucking
did
we're
you
in
watch
some
the movie yet?
heinous, dark places, man. I have
Yes,
not
I
seen
know.
the movie yet.
You should watch the movie
Ooh,
to
it's-
learn
it's
about
I'd
very
love
heinous
good.
dark
to.
places.
Where do I do that?
You're
it
gonna
was
have
like
to
available
sail.
for a
Yo,
fucking
man,
week.
you have to sail.
ho, a pirate's life for thee.
Okay, fine. That's no problem.
I mean, it was literally available for streaming for like 3
A
days
week,
when
I
we all
think.
watched it.
That's what I'm saying, man.
I mean,
Y'all
not the-
didn't even tell me.
Not for nothing. We definitely
We
talked
watched in
about the
separate
movie when it
groups.
was out and said, "Hey, watch the movie, and you're gonna have to sail." Period.
Yeah.
We did.
We
probably
definitely
said
have a
that.
podcast episode where we discussed this movie.
Don't worry, I'll send you a treasure map later.
Oh, thank you.
Treasure map.
How kind of you.
right.
Yo, go ahead.
All right, so moving on. Unless you had something else you want to say about Made in Abyss.
No, just pumped about a second season, and I know Val's
right.
thrilled.
So moving on, we got Kaguya-sama. We knew there was going to be an OVA, and I'm pretty sure we all heard about season 3. I was caught off guard when I actually had the anime separated sorted by top and not by new, and I was like, "Oh, season 3 announced!" And then I sent it to one of my friends, and literally the last thing I messaged him was that season 3 was already announced. So I was like, "Wait a minute, what's going on here?" Point is, no word on season 3, but the OVA is coming out this fall. The trailer came out for it, and it's how do I describe this? It seems like it's way more fan servicey than the rest of the series. There was a lot of jiggle action in this trailer for absolutely no reason. So I'm ready for this. I don't know. This will be entertaining. I just want to know when season 3 starts again because I love Kaguya. But moving on, we got some cool announcements for the rest of the anime seasons this year. The two of the 4 memes of manga that will not get anime are finally getting anime. So the first one is Komi-san Can't Communicate. This is... Words can't describe how happy I am to see this getting an adaptation. This is one of those few series where like I read the manga for it and I've been waiting for the anime. So the anticipation's been killing me. This is super wholesome. Girl has just fear of talking to people. She meets this guy in her class and he's like, "Oh, you're trying to make friends? I'll help you make friends. I'll be your first one." It's a wholesome adventure of this girl who's just like has trouble talking to you but still wants to be their friends. Very cute. I love it. I can't wait for this shit to come out. And it's coming out in June or not? Point is, no, sorry. This one's October. The next one's coming out in July. The second one is called "The Great Jai Will Not Be Defeated." In terms of plot, it's Devil's a part-timer all over again. It's this demon lord comes to the earth, except when they get to the earth, they get stripped of their power. Now they have to deal with the fact that like, oh shit, I need to pay for rent. Except this time, the demon lord is hot, but when she gets transported, she becomes this small, adorable, smug child who still also needs to pay rent. So. This one's also going to be entertaining. More importantly, this one's going to be 26 episodes. I couldn't
Damn.
believe it. Everything out here is barely pulling off 12, and this is like, yeah, this one's going to get 26.
Let's just flex on him.
I know. Hopefully it's good. So far, almost all I know for this manga is just memes, just because the main character's always making like just the dumbest reaction faces, looking just smug as shit. I'm excited for it. And then, my goodness. All right, let's talk about the Fate franchise
Freeman,
for a second here.
how about we give you about an hour to read off the titles of these 2 movies?
Yeah, that's the fucking joke. All right, time for a grand order because FGO is just in movie land right now. So last time we spoke, I'd watched the first Fate Grand Order Camelot movie, but the sequel to that movie, Fate Grand Order the movie, Divine Realm of the Round Table, Camelot, Paladin, Argotlot. Oh my god, they butchered the spelling when they went from Japanese to English.
Agataram?
Agataram is how they wrote it in like kanji to English. Anyway, the first movie sucked. The second movie apparently did a lot better in the box office because they cut a lot of plot from the early part of this story, and the end is just a giant battle, and that shit translates to a movie very easily. So that movie's out. It's doing okay. I'm pretty sure Evangelion's still beating it in the Japanese box office, and I'm really not tracking if Demon Slayer's beating it right now because I don't want to know that information anymore. But the big thing to come out of this was that at the end of the movie, they released the trailer for it's technically a sequel, but it's not part of this 2-movie series. The follow-up movie to the Fate Grand Order Camelot series is Fate Grand Order Final Singularity, The Grand Temple of Time, Solomon. Holy fuck, these titles. Anyway, what's important about this last one is this is like everyone's calling it the Avengers Endgame of the Fate franchise. Like,
can I just say, there are more colons in these titles than there are words in most movie titles.
I'm aware of it. I don't know what this naming convention is. Like, the problem was with the Fate franchise, they used to be called Fate / and then it was whatever your actual titles. Fate Stay Night, Fate Zero, Fate Extra. Like, those were your franchises. But Fate Grand Order blew up, and they had to start splitting up by like story chapter names and then sub-movies to the point where it's just like how far in until I get to the word movie to know what I'm talking about?
I wish
here?
Giga would put out an updated version of his video where he tries to explain the whole Fate thing.
He said he's been working on it, but
that'd be so good.
He started streaming Genshin, and that's eating all of his time, so he just doesn't make videos anymore.
My god.
The point is,
what a loser.
I'm actually super excited for this movie because the whole plot of this movie is we finally track down the big bad guy. Let's summon every servant from every other like multiverse extension of Fate to fight this one fight. So it's literally the Avengers Assemble scene, but it's just like Fate waifus assemble is what's about to happen, and it's gonna be awful. I can already tell, but I'm gonna love every second of this.
Awful, wow!
Like,
just going.
I'm not gonna lie here. Like, as someone who loves Fate Grand Order, I've watched every bit of media that's come out for this, and it's like, unless you're already hopelessly addicted to this mobile game, there's no point in watching any of this. This is literally just pandering to people who pay for the mobile game. But I'm gonna eat this shit up.
Freeman, rarely do you talk down to yourself as much as when you're talking about.
Dude, I'm like this is. Let me get out my words here. This is what I hate about it more than anything else. Like, Fate as a franchise is like, stay away. There's no easy way in, and once you're in, you're like, like nothing makes any sense, and like, why are you here? And that's how I feel about the Fate franchise. But it's so good, and there's so many characters, and there's just rich lore and tie-ins with other franchises this author is writing, and it's such an interesting multiverse to be involved in. But holy shit, do I hate how Fate it is? Like, it's just got this quality about it that just makes it impossible to be a fan, and I hate that I'm so far into this.
Wow.
Anyway, Fate rant for this week is over. Last bit of ranting about anime shit. For anyone who uses the Crunchyroll desktop experience, they've been trying to push users onto their beta for the last 3 or 4 months. I hopped into it temporarily. It looks just like their redesign for the Roku app and also their Android app, which, like, it's trying to be more like Netflix, but it lost a lot of what made Crunchyroll easy to navigate. And they decided, like, hey, we heard everyone's feedback in the beta, and we're not changing anything. We're rolling the beta out to prod in, like, 3 weeks. So everyone's like, all right, thanks. So now Crunchyroll is going to look a lot like Netflix, where navigation's a lot harder. It's more of just, hey, look what we're promoting. Crunchyroll, like, straight up ignored a lot of criticism about this. I don't know if they're going to fix their queue system. That was the one thing that was mega broken in beta.
So bad.
But Crunchyroll's in a weird spot right now because they're finally making these improvements despite the potential Funimation merger. The merger is getting held up. So Crunchyroll started entering contracts with Sentai Filmworks. And like, basically, Funimation is the big boy of DVD distribution for anime in the US. Sentai Filmworks is in second place. And Crunchyroll's like, these exclusive shows that we produced stuff for, we're gonna partner with Sentai Filmworks to get the Blu-rays out. So it's weird because they're in the spot where it's like, well, why didn't you give them to Funimation to do the Blu-ray distribution? And it sounds like they might be hedging on not being able to merge with Funimation, which is a really weird spot to be in. So a lot of Crunchyroll's moves make it seem like it's preparing for the worst, but I'm kind of hoping the merger goes through just because I fucking hate the Funimation website and I want to redesign. And if it takes buying Crunchyroll to happen, then so be it.
I mean, Freeman, do you honestly think, they're going to take time to fix it?
I'm hoping they just like literally pull in the other side.
I'm not saying hope. Do you honestly think there's a good chance they fix it?
If they don't acquire Crunchyroll, they're never going to fix it. That's what I think is going to happen.
Why would they fix it if they acquire Crunchyroll?
Because then they just use Crunchyrolls.
That doesn't seem like that's going to happen. I feel like they would just be like, no, we're going to figure it out on our own, man. Crunchyroll, we can lay off all of your people, and now you guys got to figure it. We'll figure it out later and never figure it out.
Look, if they do that, that'd be fucking terrible.
Yes.
Just the worst of both worlds.
Sure.
Both websites have Funimation's awful UI.
Correct.
And they're both forcing dubs. All right, forget it. This is the worst thing that ever happened. Anime needs to get canceled ASAP. That's it. Weeb shit's over.
Weeb shit's over.
Weeb shit's over. Back to the Weeb shit.
That's the other Weeb shit.
So now we can get to the most important part of the podcast, where we spend 1.5 million years talking about all the stuff we watched and played. But why don't we, I know there's a Resident Evil game that people play a lot. Okay.
Oh God.
Describe to me the intricacies of the second playthrough.
Hold on. There is something important here that needs to be discussed, because as of last podcast, me, Tyler, and Aiden had all had a semi-roundabout discussion about a certain movie that Friedman already brought up. And after saying, I am not going to watch this movie till June or later, Friedman has suddenly seen Mugen Train.
Suddenly seen, as if the PlayStation leak didn't happen. So reason I was
but you were
waiting
still
till
saying
June,
you were going to delay. You were like, oh, I'm probably still going to wait. And then you were like, oh, 2 of my friends bailed, so we're just going to watch it.
Yes. So the original plan before the Sony leak was just wait till June and buy it. Don't try and find a shitty copy. Then it boiled down to the copies are out there. Do I want to pirate it? And then it became my friends already have pirated copies and they want to watch. So the situation escalated on me. On top of that, it was like I had only accounted for it being in theaters for that 1 week, like they originally announced.
Just like everybody else.
For the record, as of the date of recording, Demon Slayer is still in U.S. theaters.
I saw it a second time in theaters last week on a business trip.
And it was after you messaged us, you were seeing it. I sat there, I'm like, you know what? Like the whole reason I didn't go with you guys was I wasn't fully vaccinated at that point. I am now. Like, why don't I hit up the rest of my group and see if they actually want to see it in theaters? And before I can even start texting them, they text back that 2 of them are seeing it in theaters tonight. I was like, damn, these assholes! They didn't invite me. At the same time, at the same time it was Thursday. I had anime night set aside with our group, so at that point I messed around with a buddy who had it pirated. I'm like, hey, let's watch tomorrow. So we did that.
So what did you think, Friedman? I know you already talked to us about it yet on Sunday. But...
So I listeners, I'll tell you what I told these guys on Sunday. My expectations were way too high going in, and about halfway through the movie, I realized like this is not going to be the mind-blowing experience I thought it was going in. This is just going to be a good shonen movie. I should temper my expectations. And then the second half of the movie was just way better than the first, and blew me away after I had like leveled my expectation. Overall, pretty good animation, especially in the second half. First half, I still thought the Heaven's Feel movies looked better, but the second half just had way better, crazy sequences. Overall, very good. In terms of shonen movies, like the Hero Academia movies for a while, they were what I held as the highest of like, these aren't canon, but they're like entertaining and close enough. Whereas this is just the movie of the next arc. Like same thing with Made in Abyss. And I think they did it very well. Yeah.
Here's a question. Is it worth us discussing spoilers and giving a spoiler warning?
Yeah, we can, because we've been beating around the bush. If we want to have our Mugen Train discussion, let's do it right now and be done with this.
All right, so I'm going to write down some time codes for everybody. So if you don't want to hear Mugen Train spoilers, we will say stop, and then I will put in a time code to end the spoilers. So let's start spoiler talk right now. So,
Friedman,
yes.
How did you feel about the train being a demon?
So I was a little disappointed when he fused with the train. Like going in, we were discussing this Sunday. I was convinced there was some shit about the train going infinitely,
Yes.
not some weird thing about
Same.
like the infinite line between dream and awakeness. And the train becoming the enemy was cool for a second, but it didn't make for a good final boss for that fight.
I mean,
and
it
joke
was
with these
kind of
guys.
cool because it was more monstrous than a lot of other demons have been. Like a lot of other demons have been like, you know, not that I disagree
People
with you. It was
with
still
weird
kind of
stuff
lame.
going on.
But yeah, it's like people with stuff, and this was like flesh mound thing with eyeballs.
Oh no, the idea of it wasn't bad, but the fact that we spent like legitimately 10 minutes watching a couple characters like just fight off tentacles.
Yeah, that's fair.
It just felt like it went on a little too long. Like the
Plus,
idea itself
CGI
wasn't
in
bad.
a lot of places was a little.
Yeah.
I mean, it was honestly. I don't think this CGI could have looked much better for this. It didn't look absolutely
the CG
ridiculous.
shots of the train in front of like the forest environments was all done really, really well.
But that doesn't mean
Like,
it
that
looks
was
great.
No, those were done well, but I think the tentacles were not the worst, but like the bad part of the 3D execution.
But then we get things like, you know,
Anytime there's a fire on screen.
anytime there's a fire on screen.
And yeah, which is a lot of it.
Like I know it was in the trailer, but that first time Rengoku stands up to fight the demon in the dreams, and just literally just draws his sword and the flame swirls around. Seeing that, I know you didn't, Freeman, but like even on screen, I'm sure it was great. But in theaters, that was like, okay, some of this is gonna look pretty hot. But yeah, I know what you mean about the demon. That's the train being a little.
I was making the big joke that once they like started cutting away at essentially his neck, they're like, "We just need to slice his head off, just hit him in the neck." And I'm like, "Oh my god, it's just Attack on Titan. He's a train titan, and they just need to slash his neck."
Yeah,
He's a train titan.
he's a train titan.
Oh
He's
my
a fucking abnormal.
I mean,
So-
according to the dream in Osuke's dream, that's literally what it is.
Yeah. I mean, he was right. He gets this one.
What were you gonna say?
But-
Aiden?
So like, I thought the movie as a whole was very good, but I brought up the one thing that I have a problem with to Tyler, and that being, where the fuck did the upper third just come from?
Oh yeah.
Chilling. He's just like, hey, surprise, motherfucker, I'm the boss now. Like,
Yeah, when you
I still
think
find
about
that
it,
very jarring.
when you think about that point in time, like the train got derailed in the middle of its intended path. So like, was the third just chilling and be like, "Hey, what's going on over here?" It's not like the train was like meeting up with him or something. So
The only thing I could think is that the upper third, was watching this lower one. I mean, he seems like the kind of guy who Muzan, aka Michael Jackson.
Muzan Jackson.
Muzan Jackson, thank you. I feel like that's the only thing. I don't know, maybe the manga has more. Freeman, maybe you would know that, but
I can ask my buddy.
Yeah.
That's just blatant
I
spoilers.
mean that's the only thing I
As-
could think of, but it is a little flimsy
As
to have
far
him
as
just
the
walk out.
show goes, yeah, there was like literally zero setup that I can think of that would lead to him just being there.
Honestly,
So-
he's there because Tanjiro and Inosuke were enough to kill the lower one, and Rengoku had
Yeah.
to die no matter what.
I know, but like, man, that also upset me because it's like, fuck yeah, Rengoku's awesome. Ah,
He
Dude,
did.
so so
He did.
so Aiden, it's been a running joke for a while now in our group that we have a bunch of chats that can't involve Leslie because Leslie is so behind on so many shows and literally just behind on things that we all do.
We usually just rotate the title. First was Leslie Can't Watch Hero, then it was Can't Watch Titan.
Yeah, now it moves around. And so I created the one group that didn't have Friedman in it just so I could share the clip of Rengoku powering up for the last time for his last big dash. And I have watched that clip so many times since I shared it. That was the only thing that anyone shared in there, and then Leslie was like, "Ooh, that's pretty." But like, man, that whole final sequence when he just stops breathing and then like it's not even anything like there's no build up. It just like a light switch just turns on the music and the fire effects and everything. And it's like this is fucking go time. Let's go.
It was very good. And also, I appreciate the precedent that they set for, hey, as cool as Tanjiro and company are,
They are
they
bitches.
still ain't, they ain't shit.
They are literally nothing.
Yeah, Tanjiro
also,
cries
you
about
know-
it for literally 3 minutes straight.
I
Hey,
mean, they
man.
all cry about it,
We,
man.
we were crying along with them.
And once again, the fucking, hey, you got a black sword? That's unfortunate. And then it's just never brought up again.
Honestly, I think it was a pretty funny start to the movie to go, oh, Rengoku, everyone's been waiting months to hear about what you say about the fire dancing. Bitch, I don't know about fire dancing. Don't talk
know
to me about
anything about that.
Yeah, I don't know. Go ask somebody else.
Go ask my dad. He knows this nerd shit.
I was going to say at the end of the movie, oh, I remembered maybe there's some papers at my dad's house that has the information you're looking for.
I've literally never seen them, but that's why they might be on the paper.
I can't read.
I still think it was a very good movie overall.
Yeah. I mean, all the stuff with Tanjiro, like, falling asleep, and, I mean, seeing his family again, that was pretty gut-wrenching.
Yeah.
All the other dreams were really funny. Rengoku literally being too badass to die when he's sleep strangling that kid for like 10
Literally
minutes
too
straight.
badass to die.
Like, it's funny to think about how long he's doing that for. He's standing there sleeping, and that girl is just standing there, like, being strung up like that, not doing anything, and they're just kind of both like that for a while.
Yo,
Wasn't she
I
also
didn't
still
realize,
in the dream
Tim.
while it's happening?
Hmm?
She's still in the dream while it's happening, right?
Yeah, they
Yeah.
cut to her falling down and like clutching at her throat, and she's just writhing there, and he's holding her, but he also isn't waking up, so they're just stuck like that. I guess she never blacks out. What were you gonna
Reminds
say?
me of some Ragnar shit from Red Rising.
Oh my God! Stop.
Like, yo, do you sleep with it? Like, are you asleep? I sleep with my eyes open, Dominus. Like, what? What kind of
like,
weird shit
dude,
is
shut up! Like, calm down.
that? Like,
Nah,
but
Ragnar earns that
actually,
shit though.
Ragnar earned that shit.
And he went out like a champ too.
Like a champion. Also like a champion.
No, but like, there's so much of this movie that's just absolutely gorgeous. And honestly, as much as Tyler joked about Tanjiro crying for like 20 minutes at the end of this movie, it was kind of cool. So, okay, this might just be me getting a little too meta, but I mean, I think it's reasonable to say a lot of anime movies kind of beat you over the head with sadness things, as a way to make you get emotional. I think it was really cool how that whole time Tanjiro, like from when the upper third runs away and Tanjiro does that fucking badass move where he does the flame effect and throws the sword. And Freeman, we talked about this on Sunday, where it was like, we all knew Rengoku lost when he got punched through the stomach, but that entire time from then until the sword doesn't cut his head off, you actually aren't sure if he's gonna win or not. And it's like, that is so rare in media these days, where you're actually not sure what the outcome is going to be, and you're just like actually cheering with the protagonist to actually win, because you're not sure it's going to happen, and it doesn't. And then having Tanjiro screaming after the demon how he's a fucking coward, and how demons are all punks because they come out at night when humans can't or have a harder time. Like, that actually got me a little emotional, because it wasn't just Tanjiro being like, oh my god, Rengoku's dying. He's like, nah, dude, Rengoku was a fucking badass. You're just a little bitch for running away. And
You're
it's
bitch
like,
ass,
yo,
mark ass, hoe ass,
yeah.
loser ass.
And it's like, man, that actually hits kind of hard, because it's like affirming of how badass he was.
Yeah.
Does that make any sense? I know
Yeah, I
that
get what
kind
you're
of got pretty meta, but
Yeah, I mean, I feel that. That was good.
That it was so. it's been such a meme for so long. I'm sure it's come up on early podcast episodes where one of Tyler and Leslie's favorite things to say is that I don't like anything.
Yeah.
Oh my god. And it was like one of the most genuinely thrilling moments in like media this year. Not only when Rengoku's like fighting to cut his head off and Tanjiro and Inosuke run in, but like I said, that moment where Tanjiro pulls back and that little bit of flame breath comes out and he just launches the sword, and it's like you can't, like, I just didn't breathe for that entire moment until it actually cut into the upper third. It was like actually so tense. It was awesome.
So,
Oh.
so I'm a nerd here, and there was one tiny little bit about that scene that was bothering me, and it only bothers me because I care about dumb stuff like this. But so in Demon Slayer season 1, there was that song that happened at the end of episode 19. That was the one and only time that song appeared in all of season 1 of Demon Slayer, and that made it special. Like a third of the soundtrack for this movie was variants of that song, and I kept noticing every time it came up, and I was paying very close attention to it right when he did the throw, and it threw me off on that scene. Because hearing you describe it may sound way cooler than I remember in the moment, but it was all I could think of is like, come on, give me new music.
And that's
like I
fair.
wanted it to be something special on its own. And it felt like they tried to tie it to the big moment from.
It is
19.
that is totally a reasonable complaint. I mean, this movie uses a lot of slow piano keys, and you don't even have to know the song that well to be like, yeah, these keys are probably just an even more slowed down version of the same song again. Like, we get it, guys. Like, part of the reason I'm hyped for season 2 is just to get finally a new intro song. Jeez.
Yeah, and before.
What do you mean? But that first song, that song is a banger though.
It's
Will they
pretty
get
fire.
Lisa to come back for
we
it?
had 24 episodes of it.
Ain't
You
nothing
know,
wrong
Who
with
is
that. It was a
complaining
banger.
about having a good song for
Yeah,
24
what the
episodes?
hell
What is going
this?
on
Who
here?
are you?
You have no idea what it's like to lose a great opening to just something that's god awful dog shit.
I mean,
For real.
not god awful, but nothing in
On
Jujutsu
God,
Kaisen has matched up to Lost in Paradise. So, like,
Exactly. That you went from being hyped as fuck at the end of an episode to being like, all right, come on, can we start the next one already?
now see, don't even say hyped as fuck because Tyler doesn't think the song's that good.
I never said that. I never said
Liking
that.
a song and a
just
song
said-
being hype are two different things.
I just
kidding,
said
I'm
the
kidding, I'm
opening
kidding.
song. No, because the listeners have to know this. Timpedia's full of shit. I like
Wow.
the ending. All right. I just said I didn't. The one time I said, oh, I think the opening is slightly better. He's like, nah, that Tyler thinks the ending is shit. Fuck out of here. The hell out of here. I didn't even say
hold
my
on.
piece.
No,
Yeah,
let's.
I think. What?
No. I want to switch to Jujutsu Kaisen. Are we done talking about Demon Slayer so I can turn off the spoiler
yes,
thing?
yes, we're all good.
Yeah,
Oh, I
No
was
more,
just-
no more
what the
moving
hell?
trains.
All right, never
What?
mind.
No.
Oh, well, no,
What do you wanna
make
say?
your closing point. Go ahead.
No, because I didn't say anything.
Go
I
ahead.
Make your opening
Go ahead,
statement.
Go ahead.
No, it was cool. It was a good movie.
Tyler,
we go.
fuck you. Go. Do it.
No, it's it.
be
That's
frank.
All
it.
right, we're
No,
going to end
now
the
you're being
podcast.
annoying.
Podcast's over.
No, podcast over. Let's get Juju.
Oh my
Like,
God.
that's your
Tyler-
regularly scheduled weed shit.
Oh, my God.
So you guys finished Jujutsu, right?
No,
No.
I
So
got sleepy.
Unfortunately, yesterday,
got sleepy.
Val got off work really, really late, and then Tyler got tired. So we have 2 episodes left.
Oh my god, and they're both so good.
Fine, Freeman. I was almost like, I'm just going to watch these by myself, but no, we're going to wait till Sunday and finish the show. We at least got to see the baseball episode, and the baseball episode was hilarious.
Honestly, as far as fillers go,
Nice pitch.
it was funny. I don't typically like filler, but like it was funny.
This is a
Dude, I
genuinely
just made a
entertaining-
joke about it. This was hilarious.
Is it
Just-
Nice
is
finish.
it better or worse than Samurai Champloo baseball episode?
On
No,
par.
Samurai Champloo's baseball
Hi.
episode is a masterpiece. This is still good. This is not a masterpiece.
Okay.
Like I will say, I think I will say this. It is good, but like Samurai Champloo baseball, like that had me like in borderline tears. Like when they had the frames of them quote dying, except the old man. The old man straight was dead, actually dead.
Uh, It was a good
Like-
episode.
It was good. It was a good episode.
Just a
Jujutsu-
minor tangent about that episode, real quick. So I actually do really like part of it. I think at the end of the episode, like the main character and his team are just kind of hanging out in a room together talking. And it really cemented how different this is as a shonen from older ones. Like if you go back to Naruto, like when people say like, "Oh, Sasuke's Naruto's best friend," I sit there and I'm like, "Is he really? Like, when have the two ever like sat down or had a conversation or like gone for a walk or done literally anything outside ninja shit together?" And this is a big problem in shonen where you don't see like the characters being friends, and more modern ones like Hero Academia has occasional like, "Oh, we're all going to the mall today," or Jujutsu shows a lot more of just like the characters
Brother.
interacting with one another. Yeah, like it feels like they might actually be friends with each other, which is refreshing and a good trend in shonen.
Let's
that
be
was all I wanted to
actual
say.
friends. But yeah, Jujutsu Kaisen, I'm sad we didn't get to finish, but it has turned out very, very good. I am very excited for more of Jujutsu Kaisen.
Yeah, it's good.
But while we were waiting for Val to get home from work yesterday, Freeman, I introduced Tyler. I don't know if
I
you've
know.
started watching this. I
The
introduced him
Iron-Blooded Orphans.
to the Iron-Blooded 86.
Well, you're asking me if I
Orphans.
watched it when I told both of you to watch it in the
I
first
forgot
place.
you had yeah, but I thought you had only watched like I remember when I first started, you were like, I only watched like 2 or 3 episodes. I'm not even caught up yet because I was starting Tyler on it. Are you caught up?
No, I'm only on episode 4, so I gotta watch 2 more.
So I'm still ahead of you.
That doesn't mean I didn't tell you to watch it first.
No, I know you did. I know you did, but I didn't know if you'd caught up because like I said, as soon as I watched it, I was ahead of where you had been. Tyler got through the first 2. Tyler, did you watch any more or no?
Nah, I didn't.
What'd you think of the first 2 though?
It was pretty great. I mean, I like Iron-Blooded Orphans, so like,
So
obviously
the same
I'm
thing,
gonna
just
like
without the
this.
Gundams.
Oh wait, no, sorry. Let me rephrase that. I like Iron-Blooded Orphans, and I like Red Rising. So yeah, I like this. That's another joke that only Tim and I would get.
It's fine. Red Rising
Because
has
what-
proven to be a lot of material, shockingly.
Yeah, was it
Look at all
They
these
even
golds.
the literal like, and what I thought was amazing, right? Like the show subverts your expectations in a way I never thought like you could, because they have this big thing in the show and you're like, man, let me guess, it's this. And of course it's that. But then you find out later on everybody's just a piece of shit about it. And you're like, oh,
Tyler, just to check,
Well,
you're
that-
talking about the school scene, right?
yeah, about the school
Yeah.
scene, how I learned that they weren't just regular people and they were just a bunch of golds.
Yeah.
Literally that scene where I said, "Oh, they're not ignorant. They're just golds." Got it.
They're excited to be ignorant. Not even ignorant. They're like excited to be racist.
Yeah, but the other best part is too, it's not like they didn't come out and say it like immediately. They let you, the viewer, kind of come to that conclusion. Especially like this is one of those like those stories or like those kind of like where like they have scenes where stuff's going on in the background, like they seem like throwaway lines,
Mm-hmm.
and later on you're like, oh, I remember this guy talking about this.
So,
Right.
real quick, I'm glad that you experienced this way. I was unfortunately openly ruined by Mother's Basement's description of the show. So much that
Oof.
in his first sentence of the show, he summarizes the first 3 episodes in like a sentence.
Mm-hmm.
So, like, I
Oof.
kind of just knew the mystery that they were trying to unfold on you right from the get go, which I'm upset I didn't get to figure it out naturally, and I'm happy you guys did.
I will say I even had watched that video, and I will say that there's just a lot more to the mysteries after episode 3. There is still more to the show, which is really exciting. But yeah, it's really good. Aiden, I'm guessing you haven't watched any of this.
I have no idea what this is.
Have you watched Iron-Blooded Orphans or no?
Yes.
Oh, you should definitely just watch
should
the
watch
show.
this now.
Just take that as if you like that, watch this and just try it.
Okay.
Like, don't try. Yeah, we'll stop talking
Don't
about it.
Google
You should
anything. Just like watch an
literally
episode
just go
or
on
two, see what you
Crunchyroll and
think.
watch like 2 episodes. That's what Tyler did on Monday, and Tyler wants to watch the show now. So,
Alrighty then.
I guess we can blow through these real quick. My Hero Academia is still going and still.
Guess what? I don't care.
No, I know,
Yeah,
and I'm
this-
like even getting to that point. Like,
Are you ready to be intrigued? Because apparently there's a twist at the end of this arc that makes the next arc really good, and that's the light at the end of the tunnel you got.
I mean,
So
I'm not gonna
That's
stop
why I'm
watching,
still
but like,
persevering.
I know, but it sounds like you're ready to drop off at any second.
no,
I'm not.
no,
I'm
no,
not
no,
gonna
no.
drop off. I'm not dropping off. See, I feel like every week a new episode of My Hero comes out. I get put on suicide watch for the show, and I always get the question from Freeman and everybody else in the group: Are you gonna stop watching? Are you gonna
No,
stop?
hold
Hold on, no,
Okay.
no. So the reason I keep saying this is because I'm a proponent of if you don't like a show, you should drop it. I've sat through so many anime for the sake of being a completionist that I regret watching because they just weren't entertaining. And
Don't you still
I'm
do
genuinely
that?
curious. What, drop shows?
No, don't
Or-
you still not drop shows?
So when we're talking about 12 episode shows, if I'm at like episode 9 where I'm like I'm done, it's like oh come on, there's only 3 more left. It's like when it's like a 26er, like if I'm at episode 10 and it's just no good, it's like nah, I'm out.
Actually, I have a good example when we get to my thing, but like, I mean, if the season as a whole, if I find that the season as a whole isn't going in a direction that I care about, then yeah, I'm probably gonna drop the show.
Gotcha. Just
In
because
all
I know
honesty.
I basically watched you drop ReZero 2. So I just want to. I'm just trying to gauge if you're actually dropping or not. I don't want to press you either way. I'm just curious.
No, that's fair. I don't know. ReZero 2 was just like, I think there was just a lot of shit, and it was just like this is just a lot. And like when Val and I binged it, I felt like we were just getting hit with a lot of like, I know I'm kind of going off on a tangent here, but like just so much shit that felt like a lot and then nothing at the same time.
Yep.
To the both where we kind of, I think, played off on each other's energies and we're just like, I don't know about this.
Gosh, this is what happens when you watch anime without a hype beast present to make
Yeah.
everything feel exciting.
I think the difference with My Hero is that we've all been invested in My Hero for such a long time that like it is a little
That's
slow
another
right
key
now,
factor.
but we're still gonna stick it out. It's like it's not bad, it's just less interesting, but there's so much other stuff that has happened and there's still other mysteries that we care about. Like there's all this stuff with One for All, and like honestly like the stuff with like Todoroki and Endeavor is pretty exciting. It's like we just want to get back to that.
I know they just gotta put it front and center, not like dangle it in front of us before an unrelated arc starts.
Yeah,
Yeah.
but no, and I know we've been calling out like not calling out, but being like, yo, Tyler, are you gonna give up on it? And like I'm getting to that point too where it's like, oh my god, I can only watch so many weeks of look at these students fight each other and they're good at fighting each other, but like just
Check out all their new moves. Look how they work in synergy with each other.
Look at their new
look.
uniforms.
Yeah, new summer uniforms. Oh, look at this guy from the tournament arc in the first season. He's back. And look, he's a cool guy. Just give him a chance. Like, I don't give a fuck. Like,
I
give me
forgot
my
Tyler's fucking
own
hates Shinza.
slot. Like,
well,
like,
no.
all right.
We are kind of getting to the point where this is just too many. Like, I know it's
It
been
is.
a
It
meme how
already-
there's been so many characters, and we're all like, oh my god, stop like doing these stupid intros. We just talked about a few weeks ago at the beginning of the season. We had the look at everybody's power and all their quirk and everything. But like with this arc, where it's like look at all of Class 1B, and all of them are getting character development. And all of them have voice actors, and all of them are getting like look how their quirk works. And it's like I just don't fucking care about more than maybe like 4 of them.
The thing that absolutely kills me is like half their class has like big name voice actors. Like Kirito voices the drill guy. Just
What? He had like,
Like-
3 lines.
I know, like they have big name voice actors for these tiny side characters.
Oh my god.
Jesus Christ. I just can't.
Like how
Damn.
just imagine a world where we wasted much less time on Mushroom Girl and we put that time into like maybe
Bro.
another dream sequence with One for All.
Man, like this whole like Hawks being a double agent shit, I was about that.
Yes. We had like 2 minutes of that.
That's my thing. Like him, like the Hawks double agent thing, And Endeavor going through his stuff, I was like, yo, this is gonna be a banger season.
now,
And
Almost like it was going
then
to be a payoff to the build-up.
and now it's like, look at how we can cheat other people's powers to put them on an even playing field with people who should absolutely demolish them.
yeah.
Like, remember?
Which, by the
remember
way, I don't know if
tournament-
I've mentioned it like in the podcast, but like I definitely mentioned to you guys how I was upset because I'm like, there's no fucking way in a million years that like yeah, sure, I get it. I'm sure like Class 1B can have all the fucking synergy they want, but literally Class 1A has had attempts on their lives for an entire year, multiple
Yes.
times, like for weeks straight, has had attempt on their lives, and they've come out like not even
Swinging.
unscathed.
Yeah.
Like they've been literally fighting for their lives, and you're sitting here gonna tell me that these guys who have never left the classroom once is gonna
Whoa,
beat
hold on.
them.
They've been doing their internships just like
Oh,
Class
their
1A.
internships. Okay, you know what? Fine. Yeah, sure. They got their internships.
But like, here's the other thing though. Some of these powers are so. I feel like the writer like
Stupid.
gives people from 1B quirks and then is like, wait a minute, this quirk isn't nearly strong enough to matter at all. Why don't I just let them like? Okay, Freeman and Tyler, I forget. Did you guys still haven't watched the?
I've not seen the newest
I
episode
haven't
now.
watched the newest one either.
But you
no.
watched the second newest one where this battle started, right?
Yeah.
Yes.
With the fucking guy who can turn things to jelly. Or like,
Yes.
Oh
dude,
my God.
they're like, his power is he touches one thing, and it turns to like it turns like
Turns
to
into Jell-O.
quicksand basically, or Jello, sure. And then like 1A shows up at the fight, and it's like, oh, the entire like mile radius we're fighting in is Jello right now. It's like, go fuck yourself. There's no way this quirk actually is this broken.
And
like-
yet he gets to be in 1B while Minata is in fucking 1A.
Hold up. One
True.
A and B are not rankings. It's just the two classes of first years. I need you guys
don't know.
to remember
here's-
this. It's not a ranking
You know what,
system.
that's
One of
fine.
these is sounding a lot like B Squad to me.
It
This
is,
is-
but
oh my
you know what?
God.
No, because no, you can argue that all you want, but that's not how they portray it in the show at all. They literally don't.
They do act
And if
like
they
1A is
do-
way more important.
Yes, and if
They are
if
more
that's what,
important. Deku's in their class.
if that's what they're
But,
trying to
like-
convey, then that's shitty writing, and like they fucked up. Not sorry. It's shitty writing.
Congratulations. Welcome to every anime about high school. The other class is supposed to be mysterious and different. They're not the main characters. And it just so happens that showing Class 1B as being stronger than your main characters makes for a really bad narrative, so he didn't do
But
it.
no,
All right, well then how about
hold
you
on.
put like attempts on their lives then too?
Well, no. Freeman, I'm not. They can definitely. Sorry, I'm not trying to frame this as an us versus Freeman. I just think like
I
they
am
can be.
fucked.
Wow, I think they can be competent. That's not what I'm. What's a little annoying, and like I get you can develop your quirk. It's when you have to like make up reasons that these insanely ridiculous quirks work against people who have like actually useful quirks. Like that's
Or real
to me,
like
I'm not
real
even saying against like towards anybody in particular. That just frustrates me where it's like, oh, so we had a fight like I don't want to say, I can't say that because that's the latest episode.
Look, I'll put it this way. You guys are thinking that the creators, like, yes, all 52 of the first year students all have to have amazing superhero level quirks.
No.
And the simple fact is he's trying to write a high school, but his story ideally is only really about 8 people in Class 1A, and everyone else is just kind of there. So you're going to have stinkers anyway.
No,
and it just so
totally,
happens
but-
that 1B, the characters he's not going to focus on, are not going to have the, like, fucking amazing superhero quirks that are worth telling a real story about. They
And you're-
are essentially throwaway background characters.
You're
Then
totally
that's
right.
very
That's fine.
counterintuitive then to what he
Well,
is
no, no,
trying
no.
to do.
I mean, I think that's okay, but then don't have a whole arc about how they're on the same level as the people we've been following this entire time.
No, but they're supposed to be. Like, everyone at this high school is supposed to be a superhero. So he has to rationalize why they would even be here. Why is fucking grape juice in the superhero class? I'll show you a scenario
I mean-
in real hero work where something like this could be a good idea, aka why I thought it was a superhero idea when I wrote this character down.
I feel like having Class 1B there to justify the lamer members of Class 1A kind of is like... Couldn't we
Nah,
have just
I'm
cut this
It's
sorry,
not
mile
implying that at all.
I'm not a fan of it. It doesn't make any sense. Like
No
the
one's ever
structure
gonna make
doesn't
grape
make
juice
sense.
good.
No one. And also, if it's supposed to be about these 8 heads, how come he also spends so much time developing everybody else? Aside from depth. Because I like depth. Depth is great.
So
But like,
ensemble cast
man,
and superhero stories are super cool.
this is literally like, you can't just hit me with this is the story of how I become the fucking greatest hero all time. I'm Superman.
He actually, so that's an anime original line. He didn't say it this season.
I was
Then
gonna say it seems
again, well, I
intentional
know
to
he
cut
didn't
back
say
on
it
that.
this line or this season, but it's like, I don't know, fucking get your shit together. I don't know, not a fan of it.
I think for me, just a big part of the problem, to circle back to the beginning, is it's cool to have Class 1B here as kind of a foil to 1A that isn't trying to kill them, but this is taking such a long time. It's really taking a long time to develop characters that honestly, like, don't mean as much. Considering how big 1A is already, and there's already, like, A, B, C, and D tier characters in 1A, we really didn't need a whole other class of C or lower tier characters. It's just getting so full. Like, Avengers took, like I know you compared it to Avengers, Freeman. Like, we had, like, how many... Sorry, I'm jumbling my words.
I didn't compare it to Avengers. That was Fate I was talking about. Forever ago.
Well, but it is similar. Like, there is a lot of heroes in this roster, but in that case, we had a lot more time with one main character and a couple supplementals, and now it feels like we're getting an entire B team that we never explored before to even bulk out the lower tiers. I don't know. We don't have to keep talking about My Hero. It's just, I look forward to the next arc for
Like
sure.
how it snowballed into that.
Yes, it did.
No, yeah. That being said, I'm still gonna keep watching this.
At the end of the day, we're all gonna keep watching.
At the end of the
show.
day, I'm gonna watch it, and like that's the deciding factor. It's kind of like how I decide my video game series, right? With like Kingdom Hearts 3, for example, right? I was like, yo, if Kingdom Hearts 3 doesn't fucking wow me like it
It
should,
deserves a genuine shot before you call it quits.
right, right, and same thing with this. Like, there are still things like I mentioned before. There are plot hooks that I am very interested in seeing how they play out, and characters that I do enjoy watching their progress. Like, I don't want to drop that all because of like a stupid fucking
A slow bit.
tournament arc. Like, because honestly, this is what it is to me. It's really dumb, and it was like, that's how I feel. Like, I understand there are cases like for, like, and against it, but like my thing is, and like that kind of goes off of your thing. It's like, man, I kind of wish I could just skip this. But the fucking shitty part is, right? It's like, oh, what if I skip a part and all of a sudden they throw in a tidbit of something that I wanted?
Yeah.
All right,
there-
well, I guess I gotta watch this.
To relate to that, was it in the episode you guys saw where All Might and Deku talk a little bit? Or no, have you not seen that?
Yeah, I've already seen the combo.
Okay, where they're like, maybe something's gonna happen when you fight Shinzo,
Yeah,
and
like,
it's
be
like,
careful around the guy.
Yeah.
Let's flash back to what happened last time.
it's like, oh, so we have to get through literally 2 months.
Everyone.
Because if you think about it, every battle has been 2 episodes, so it's been 2 months of trying to
Since
get to this
that.
one point.
Yeah, it's bullshit.
Anyway, let's move off My Hero. Friedman, have you caught up at all?
I'm not watching Slime Diaries.
Oh,
It's not happening. I'm so
no.
behind
I know.
on legitimately good anime that I have an obligation to watch those before I watch Slime spinoffs. Even though I know apparently Rumiru's best waifu this season, because I keep seeing pictures of all of their different outfits.
Everywhere. Trainee is in this show more than she was ever in the original Slime show. It's ridiculous.
Usually how it works. The one character is like, in this side spinoff where nothing matters, you are the god of this show.
Dude, it's honestly hilarious. One of the episodes, Trainee literally makes up a reason to be part of the episode. Like, they don't even cut to Rimuru going to the bar she apparently runs. She goes to the other druids and is like, I gotta go hang out with Rimuru, bye. And then Just goes.
It sounds like Fumofu all over again. Not that that's a bad thing, but it sounds like Fumofu.
Slime Diaries is a fine holdover. I was worried about it tainting the image of the show, but as long as you go in recognizing that Slime Diaries is not the good slime, it's fine. It's harmless. It's nothing.
You just got to make sure you have a refresher on what the tone was at the end of the last season before the new one starts.
I will say, we didn't put it in the news or for Weeb, which we maybe should have, but the trailer for Slime's Core Season 2 Core 2 came out like yesterday or the day before. Looks pretty good. A lot of Veldora in that trailer. Like, holy shit, so much Veldora showing up in that season. But that's fine.
I wonder if I should just go in surprise or just watch this trailer.
I mean, there's no real big...
I'll watch it close to the season starting to hype myself up.
There you go.
In like 4 weeks from now.
Is it really only like
Boy,
4
there
weeks?
you
4
go.
weeks, I'll hype myself up. We're on
Oh,
episode 6 or 7 on most shows, so they
We're on
have
7,
between
yeah.
5 and 6 weeks until the end of the season.
Okay. Oh, so Freeman, this is really quick. This isn't much of anything, but you can see what word is on next.
I see.
So after we watched 2 episodes of 86 and Val still wasn't home yesterday, I saw on Crunchyroll, I was like, hey, Tyler, I don't think you've watched this at all. Spoilers, I was wrong. But I haven't seen this, and Freeman has talked about how this is one of the few, this season 2 of this show is one of his 10 out of 10s. So I put on the first episode of Mob Psycho 100.
Oh boy.
Jesus, is this what drugs are like?
This is what One Punch Man originally looked like before they got a competent illustrator to do the manga.
Like,
One Punch Man got popular having artwork like that.
this is nuts. This is a lot. I don't know if I'll keep watching regularly, but it was pretty wild.
It's worth the payoff. Season 1 is whatever, but season 2 is phenomenal.
Oh, I know. I remember, like I said, I remembered that you said season 2 was a literal 10 out of 10. But
Yeah, I don't know if I'll keep watching it. I remember watching a couple episodes like years ago, but I remember it didn't stick to me. I was like, whatever.
yeah, I remember you said you watched like 2 or 3.
Yeah. So I don't know, maybe like the first episode didn't really wow me. Like it was kind of funny.
Did you get to the episode where you hit
That's about it.
100%?
No. Well, so we only watched the first episode.
No, I mean when you watched it.
I can't remember my my reaction to it.
All right. I highly recommend seeing at least through to that.
I will say, Tyler can attest, I was basically yelling at the screen anytime they were like, percentage until his explosion, 25%.
What does it
and I was
mean?
like, fuck you.
What is
Dude,
it
I
mean?
love it. It whatever. I'm not going to talk about it. I don't want to spoil anything.
No, it's fine. You know what? Someone else jump in. I've been talking too much. Someone else hop in with something.
What,
I'll go real
Castle
quick because mine is
Ventura?
nice and short. I mentioned last time on the podcast about why I didn't want to play Persona 5 Strikers
Damn.
anymore. What?
Damn, putting your shit all the way up there. Fuck.
Well, I'm
It's
keeping it in
fine.
order for when the show notes get posted. Anyway, I've just been playing a lot more Witcher 3. I'm deeply engrossed in this game once
Hell
again.
yeah.
And I kind of strategic. I knew this would happen, so that was why I chose to take the break from Witcher 3. Was I was like, you know what? I feel like this game is just pick a side quest that's enough to get you back in wherever the hell you are. And it's definitely true. So I was able to jump in like I didn't miss a beat. Like most games, if I try and jump back in, it's like I don't know what I was doing. I either need to start over or just I'm not playing this game anymore. But Witcher 3 was super easy to jump back into, so I'm very happy about that. Well, I want to say we're making progress in it, but like I've played maybe like 15 to 16 hours this week, and I feel like I'm still in Novigrad doing side quests. I don't really know if I'm progressing, but I'm definitely playing this game.
You're progressing. You just got a lot more progressing to do.
Yeah.
I'm aware. When you're level like 16 on what? I forget what level cap is in this game.
There
30.
isn't.
There's no level cap.
There's
I
no
thought
level
there
cap.
was. That was
No,
30.
there's no level cap. You will, by the time you finish the main story, you should be around 30. Should be.
Gotcha. Anyway, point is, I realize there's still a lot of room to go in this game, so I gotta either start skipping side quests or just accept this is the next Persona 5 in my life. Me playing this
Yeah.
for a while.
Do it.
I mean, I'm intentionally ignoring main quests. I feel like I've already made my choice.
Yeah.
Yo, some
You
of
mean
the
the
side
correct
quests are better
choice.
than main quests.
True.
I mean, listen, the side quests, some of
Side
them
quests are also
will
really good.
be good for the suicide mission at the end of the game. That's a Mass Effect 2 reference in case y'all didn't know.
Anyway, so while I was shitting on CDPR earlier for the crashes, I gotta say this is a very good game, and I understand why people gave this their like top game of all time award or whatever. Like, this is
It was on my top 10 when we did that a while ago.
chef's kiss. This is a very good game.
Wow.
Do we want to bump anything else up for the big show conversation?
Tyler,
Big
talk
show
about your book.
conversation. I just finished Dune. That's it.
Wow.
What
I
did
just
you
finished one of
think
the
of it?
biggest
I'm trying to
sci-fi
keep
series all
everything
time.
short, and I had a bunch of other things I started, but I'm only gonna keep it to Dune.
So
Because
what'd you
fuck it.
think?
I thought it was pretty good. I see how literally now every piece of sci-fi has ripped off of this, including the fucking veil. Jesus Christ!
The
They
what?
dropped the name the veil from Red Rising.
Oh.
Fucking Dune reference.
Oh.
Like, are you fucking kidding me? They like don't say it until the end of the book. But yeah, no, it's pretty good though. I don't think I'm gonna read past this.
Can agree with that.
Only because, cycling back to what I said before, it seems like it's going in a direction that I'm like I don't mind or care, and the book wraps up everything that like I kind of was interested in seeing anyway. And if you were to read the book, in my opinion, it feels like there wouldn't be much of like a sequel after it. Like it ties up everything pretty well. So
Cool.
They do,
that's
but
it.
there are sequels to it, though, right?
There are a bunch.
Yeah, there's like fucking 5 or 6.
It's been
Are
a
they all
long
as long as the
time.
first one?
It's
What?
been a long time. I've read a couple of the sequels.
Yeah.
The sequels go pretty wild.
Yeah, nah, that's a no-go for me.
They're a little out there.
I mean, this book started getting a little out there. Like
Yeah.
once the main character did he did like the definitive thing that like you've been waiting for him to do all book, and you're just like, all right, he's a little too extra now. Actually, he reminds me of a lot of another character in Game of Thrones, actually. And Tim, you might know who I'm talking about.
Game of Thrones?
Yeah, I'm not gonna say it here for like
Oh.
spoilers.
Oh,
Because
okay.
there's probably gonna be people that like are gonna go watch the movie. And
I'll message you to be sure I got it right, but I'm pretty sure.
yeah, but that's it. That's all I'm gonna say about that for time's sake.
Aiden, give us something.
I've been playing Kenshi.
What
The
is
hell is
Kenshi?
this?
Kenshi is an open world sandbox RPG that has been on Steam since like they released it in like Steam Greenlight when Greenlight
Whoa.
like became a thing. So it's been on
Kenshi.
Steam for about
2013.
10 years or
Damn.
yeah, whatever.
It was
Oh,
officially
8
released
years.
in
8 years, you're close.
2018.
Yeah, so it's been around for a hot minute and it has just been
it's this
slowly
game.
being developed into like an actual game. And it's very fun. It's like better RuneScape.
One of the YouTubers I watch did a video a while ago on this, and it looked really, really weird and interesting.
It is very weird. So like it is a mix between like it's basically like Mad Max Samurai.
Cool.
It's fucking crazy shit. Like it's post-apocalyptic, and you have like your typical factions associated with that, where it's like, you know, you've got like your shinobi faction, and then there's like this fucking holy nation faction, and there's these other races. There's the hive, and they're like kind of this alien, almost. They're almost like the blue people from Avatar. There's like a robot race. But the systems are all very fleshed out, like, to kind of insane degrees. Like, it is a very real possibility that you lose a fight and just get enslaved by like manhunters.
Oh.
And then they will take you to wherever wherever they need you to work as a slave. And it is your prerogative to do what you can to either escape that, or you're just a slave forever. You can lose limbs, and like, obviously that is a very debilitating thing, but you can get like robotic limbs put on in their place. I watched a
Interesting.
playthrough of somebody playing Kenshi where his character's name was Torsolo because he started the game as literally a torso. He started the game
goodness.
with no limbs.
Huh.
And the playthrough was him like just building up his character from literally nothing. He was a torso abandoned in the desert when it started.
Incredible.
That's some RP shit.
But it's like the fact that you can do that in the game is just fucking wild. And I've been having a good time with it. It is very much one of those, you gotta find your own goal. You have to set your own goals. 'Cause like, you're not special. There's no like main storyline or anything like that. There's like plot threads that you can follow and like things that you can do. You can go be like a bounty hunter or whatever and do all that shit. But like, you can also buy a house and become a merchant and like build up the town and purchase more properties and do all that shit. Or you can just set out and make your own faction if that's
Cool.
what you want to do. And then like fight other factions for territory and all this. You can like recruit people. It has like this whole job automation shit. It goes way too deep for me to sit here and explain it.
Is it multiplayer?
I don't think so. I'm pretty
Okay.
sure it's single player only, which is kind of a shame because multiplayer Kenshi would.
I was gonna say because
Probably
you
be
mentioned
pretty dope.
RuneScape, so this sounds like a lot.
Yeah.
It is a lot, and I mean like, that's what it feels like. The whole world is just. It's very open. There's a lot to do. I've like seen a small fraction of this game so far, and I already feel like it's a lot. So that I have been enjoying tremendously. I haven't accomplished much, unfortunately, because you're just a fucking nobody, and it is a very real possibility that you cross the wrong person, and they're just way better than you, and you fucking die. So,
Yeah.
Like real life.
Oh my god.
yeah,
Yeah.
a lot like that. You know, sometimes you're just walking to the next town, and some fucking starving bandits just roll by and fuck your shit up and take all your food.
Big oof.
I don't know.
Tuesday.
Yeah. So it's pretty good so far. I'm looking forward to put more time into it and see how my story unfolds with my dude. And other than that, I've been playing. I'm trying to play Final Fantasy X again, and
Well, that's
I
saga.
played for about 2 hours, and the only thing that I accomplished was I played a game of Blitzball.
Hmm.
And the rest of it was just fucking dialogue and bad dialogue at that. It's just I don't know. I'm trying. I really am trying. I just don't understand the appeal of 10.
Look, I put it down in the middle. I understand. I still think it's a fun game, but it's I want to say dated, but it's definitely a product of its time.
Yeah.
Nah, I still like it.
I'm not saying it's a bad game.
Still love it.
I'm having a hard time finding those things that everybody else apparently loves about it.
Oh, no,
So
my only problem is I put it down. Like I every time I do a Final Fantasy, if I put it down, I have to start over. Like there's no way I can jump in the middle and still enjoy it. It's just this weird thing I have with these games, and I don't want to like play through 70 hours or 45 hours of Final Fantasy X that I already have done.
yeah. Oh, the last thing that I I picked up Tales of Vesperia on
Ooh.
Pass, and it's an interesting game so far. It is it's more action. It's not like it's not what I was expecting it to be. It is much more akin to like Ni no Kuni or like Ni no Kuni 2 specifically. Then it's basically just an anime. Like you're playing an anime at that. Like
That's how the Tales of franchise always feels.
yeah, I thought it was something very different, and I don't know where that misconception came from in my head, but I always thought Tales was like a completely different thing than what it actually is.
Oh yeah, they do just an awful job at marketing this franchise.
Yeah, so I picked that up, and that's been pretty cool. I'll probably put a little bit more time into that eventually. Because in all honesty, I'm probably gonna end up dropping Final Fantasy X again for like the 4th time. But I'm trying real hard. I'm trying hard to get through it. But
I mean, if you don't
other,
like it, you just drop it.
but like I'm a parent. Like it's really awkward with hearing literally everybody say this is a good game, and then I'm just like I don't get it.
Nah, you know what's even more
I
awkward?
feel like
You
I'm
saying
missing
Final
out on
Fantasy
something.
8 is good.
Yo, Final
That's
Fantasy
more
Best game in the
VIII, you
franchise.
changed my mind.
So
Like
I mean,
only
like,
only 13.2 is better than 8 in my book.
Yo,
I'll shut up now. Go ahead.
okay, I'm done.
True facts.
Podcast canceled. I'm
All
done.
right,
True
see you
facts.
guys.
Resident Evil 6 is the best Resident Evil.
I'm
But
tired.
yeah, that's my stuff done. I haven't watched anything, unfortunately. I haven't really had the
let's
inclination.
let's round this out then with or I'll say one thing that I watched. So like I said, I took a business trip last week. I was flown down suddenly to my company's other factory in Virginia and had to be there for a few days. So while I was there, instead of watching anime, during the plane ride down, I downloaded and then watched most of the rest of Netflix has a documentary called High Score. It's kind of like the movies and games that made us, or the toys and movies that made us, except it's video games. It's a little different, but they have a lot of really interesting stories about like the beginnings of video games. Obviously, that's something that's been covered a lot, but these are really well done. It's really well edited. They have a lot of interviews with really important people. Like the guy who created Pac-Man, or the guy who created Street Fighter, or John Romero is actually the newest interview. And I know at least some of these people, like John Romero, doesn't usually do many interviews anymore.
Yeah, I wonder why.
What do you mean?
Yeah, with TV.
Huh?
I don't know what his deal is.
John Romero, fucking didn't he do? Oh, am I thinking of? No, I'm
Doom.
thinking of something else.
He did Doom.
Yeah, but he also did that really shitty game,
Daikatana,
didn't
yeah,
he?
I know.
Yeah, he did Daikatana, and everybody gives him shit for it.
Well, regardless, this is honestly a really well done series. And I ended up just watching it much more than I caught up on anime while I was down there, and I definitely recommend it if you're interested in the history of video games at all. It's really well done. And then the last show we'll talk about.
Hold on, he worked real quick. He worked on a game called Gunman Taco Truck.
Wow.
Very important detail. Sorry to interrupt you.
Oh my god.
You know what he didn't work on? Castlevania. Boom, there we go.
Jesus.
So sadly, I have not finished season 4 yet. I'm very sad. I said we would by the next podcast because it was going to come out. Didn't happen. Partially because I was traveling. Partially because there's a lot of other shit to watch. Tyler, you said you watched up to 7?
Yeah.
And then on Sunday, me, Val, and Friedman got up to 4?
I believe that's correct.
This season is still shaping up very good. Tyler, I was waiting to talk to you about this on the podcast. I can't believe what character walked out of that fucking latrine in episode 3.
Oh yeah, you shit yourself, didn't you? Literally.
Freeman could attest. I was like,
That's him popped off.
no fucking way is he back.
Yeah, no, I had basically the same reaction. I was like, wait. I was like, wait a minute, because he wasn't wearing the same clothes, and then he said his name. I was like, get the fuck.
As soon as
outta
I no, dude. As soon as I heard the voice, I was like, "Oh my god, why are you here?"
I was pleasantly surprised.
Oh yeah.
And then you learn why he's
And
there.
it's like,
I don't think you
oh
got there yet.
no.
Oh, you did.
Oh, we know what side he's
Okay,
on right
yeah.
now.
Oh yeah, it's
It's upsetting.
it's pretty interesting actually. Like, I was like, wow. And you know what? They didn't bungle this, Korra.
Nope. Wow. Okay.
Oh
That I
yeah, I
don't
watched.
know.
I finished Korra, guys. But yeah, we can keep going on with Castlevania because better stuff.
Man, they got right into the fights this season. Just to remind you that, hey, we can still flex. The stories are really interesting. A lot of things are really developing in interesting directions from season 3. Who knew that Isaac's story would be as fascinating as it is? Because
Everyone's stories are interesting right now.
I know, but like, dude, season 2, I was like, Isaac is so boring. And then season 3 was like, okay, why are we still following this guy around? He doesn't seem to do that much. And immediately we're like, oh, Isaac has some ideas after season 3's events.
Man
Where
has
are
a
we
vision.
going? I'm really excited. Mostly, Tyler, you don't have to confirm or deny anything because you haven't finished, but you're further. We seem to be very definitively setting on a path where every single storyline intersects almost organically again. And I'm here for it. If Luigi is delayed getting to the hangout on Thursday, I strongly want to put another episode or 2 behind us on this.
Oh, now we got to decide if Luigi is late. Do we watch Jujutsu Kaisen or do we watch Castlevania?
Oh, I mean, we should finish Jujutsu Kaisen. I still think that, but man,
Oh shit!
this time next week I better be done watching season 4 of this show.
Thank you for reminding me. I gotta talk to Luigi about his new power.
Oh, yeah, for D&D.
Yeah, I just remembered that.
But yeah, everybody, Castlevania season 4 seems to be ending on a strong note. I don't know where it's going to go. None of us know where it's going to go. Even Tyler's 3 more episodes in, but he's not done.
All I know is a couple reviewers I followed just were really singing songs of praise for it. So after what happened with Demon Slayer, I'm trying to not hype myself up, but I have somewhat high expectations for this
Not
season.
for nothing, we're also not getting hyped up about a year before we can watch the thing. We're getting
No, we're
hyped
gonna hype
up
it like a
as
week
we're
before.
watching the thing. Like we're in the
It's
middle
very
of
easy to
watching
manage
it.
the hype here, yeah.
Yeah. But I think we'll finally end what we watched after over an hour of the podcast.
AKA the real topic. The topic that never ends.
Yeah,
Mhm.
why do you think I only put down one thing that I watched? That's
Tyler,
it.
but we always do this. We look at what happened with My Hero.
I know.
Or 10
'Cause
minutes
listen,
of
if I
Mugen
No, and I
put
Train.
potentially
down
held
that-
off on dragging that argument out. We could have gone for another 30 minutes on that one.
Yeah, and if I put down Korra, we'd be popping off for another
Go
hour.
ahead.
Korra's a
No.
bad show. Sorry.
You-
sorry.
there- Yeah, Aiden thinks it's a
Yeah,
bad
it's
show.
spicy
I didn't
take.
like the fourth season. That's it.
Freeman?
I'm only gonna leave it at that.
I think you've watched it, right?
Yes, I have. Let's be real here. I honestly, I don't think anything after season 1 is that good. Listeners, give us your hot takes in the comment section below. What do you think of Korra?
Man, it's a good
Yeah.
thing none of the girls are on this podcast right now.
Yeah, no,
because after I talked to them though, they both agreed with me.
no, like we agree. Tyler's right. Like honestly, season 2 was dookie. Season 3 was interesting. It could have gone somewhere, and season 4 just like didn't deliver. So in the grand scheme of things, I think
Yeah.
Korra should have stayed a 1 season extra thing to Avatar and not become its own story that ended up just being pretty mid.
Aiden, you said the
Also,
whole thing was bad.
Yeah,
Go
well,
ahead.
there are parts of the
yeah, go ahead.
but the whole thing is as a whole is bad, I think.
I was going to say,
That's
do you
just my
agree with
opinion.
at least season 1 should have existed, or do you think the whole thing was not?
Honestly, man, I wanted it once upon a time, and then we got there, and then I didn't want it anymore.
Tyler, what were you going to say?
Yo, the listeners, let me know what you think, because I think the Korra Sami relationship is bullshit, and I didn't like it. I think it's pandering. Boom, Mic drop. Flame me in the comments, please.
And with that spicy hot take, we will end this episode of the podcast. So thank you all so much for listening to these hot takes.
Spicy.
Until next time, thank you all so much for listening to this inane bullshit.
For real.
My name is Timpedia.
Friedman.
Just Tyler.
Hi, Maiden.
We'll catch you guys next time. Thanks for listening.